Alright. G'day, cunts. I really ummed and ahed about spending a chunk of my Sunday doing this one. As much as anything, despite it clearly being what you all want, this is not becoming a Friendlyjordies response channel. But mostly since his fanbase found this and being so rational and logical all over my comments section, let's fucking do it, cunts. Mac is in 10. Nah, that's not true, of course. A lot of you Jordan stands have actually been assertive but have made good points along the way, and it's for you I'm doing this, even if I keep it short, and I don't agree. Since me last vid, Jordan has of course chucked up a video about his being air quotes cancelled, which made me laugh before I even clicked on it. I suppose go watch that for context if you wanna. I will confess though, I only made it about 10 minutes in before I started to click forward. After a bit, it was mostly getting stuck into the appearance and what have you of people who had very rightly called him out, so it was kind of boring after the start for me. That start, though, was a bit of a surprise, because he actually apologised. Now, in true Jordan fashion, the example of a critique he was happy to apologise to was one that spent most of its time talking about how they're a fan and always will be, and the critique was mild to say the least. As well, I wasn't super impressed with some of the justifications that came after. Something Jordan does a lot is talk about context for the stuff he says, but what's provided isn't actually context, it's just more noting a related point that was made in the same breath that wasn't as bad. Also, this I was drunk stuff, fuck man, don't stream when you're pissed. That's nobody's fault but yours. And you've said shitty things about Indigenous issues in this country when sober before anyway. But he did apologise, which is an improvement, and I believe in taking the W when you get it, so good on him for that, at least. I guess the real litmus test here is what happens going forward. Hopefully he can at least just shut the fuck up about this topic and similar ones. Better yet, some maybe centering of Indigenous culture in a positive light wouldn't go astray. This could have been the perfect opportunity to do so. Shame that he seems to have missed it, but hey, the future is long, and I guess we'll see. Now, some ears took issue with my assessment that Jordan sucks on balance, noting examples of what he does besides encouraging people to vote Labor, which, fine. I'm not against things like talking about shifts in super funds and donating to charity. They can be good things, and charity especially can make a difference to the lives of individuals. I don't rate it that highly, because it often can't lead to the type of change that removes the need for charity in the first place. It's way better to not be oppressed to begin with. Also, of course, my lizard brain wanted to respond with other examples to show why he's still on balance shit despite his good work. And other viewers pointed out some clangers of his I'd miss myself. But, well, meh, that's tit for tat. I think what it really comes down to here is what you value. I think that's something people need to get straight on too. If we achieve positive change in our society, is it really worth that much if our most oppressed people get left behind yet again? Progress is a tricky thing to define, but you could well argue that a lot of the history of Western society is marked by said progress, unless, of course, you're one of the unlucky folks stuck out in the cold, which is a nice way of saying you got genocided by colonists. In this example, we're talking about the oldest continuous cultures on Earth, the people of which are also the most incarcerated people on Earth. Few things, if any, should be considered as or definitely more important in my mind at least. And if we're not leftists for the disenfranchised, who the fuck are we leftists for? And I suppose, are we really leftists at all? So yeah, in conclusion, he's still a gronk. But I suppose a slightly improved gronk. And a gronk isn't the worst thing you can be. Some of us are gronks without much of an audience. Laters.